Okay.
We're recording, but I have the ability to edit, so don't.
Okay.
If we do flub up, we can just say something like, okay, I want to do that one again, and then just,
Sure.
I'll just know, pause it, go back, and then just
Start
record it over
again.
again. So
Okay.
easily fixable by me.
Perfect. Perfect.
All right, let me just grab this. Okay, I'm ready.
All right. So, Murdy, thanks for coming in today. Tell me, what brings you here? How can I help you?
Well, back in, I don't know, I got a ton of letters from Blue Cross over the last several months, but I know I got a letter that said that my cost plan was going away, which kind of, not going to lie, that kind of pissed me off because, you know, what's the deal with you guys? You decided you weren't making enough money off me before, and you just decided you want to make more money off me by taking away my plan? Was that the idea?
You know, a lot of members I've talked with, Murdy, those cost plans have been so good for such a long time, and it's actually the federal government is ending that program for most people in Minnesota and across the country. So we would love to keep offering that for you at Blue Cross, but unfortunately we won't be able to.
Okay.
But we do have a lot of great options to replace that, and we can talk about those today.
Okay, well, so thank you, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So I got the letter, looked it over, was going on some golfing excursions with my friends, had some family commitments,
Okay.
and then it basically said, if you don't want to do anything, we're going to set you up in another plan. So you
Okay.
kind of let things ride, and then as the first of the year rolled around and as things kind of went forward, I was talking to some friends, of course, golfing, and they're like, well, are you really sure that that's the best plan
Yeah.
for you? And I was talking to some other folks, and they're like, maybe I should come in and talk about it,
Yeah.
see if this is really the right fit for me.
Well, it's perfect. You're in the right place, Murdy, and members that I've worked with in the past in similar situations, reviewing their coverage, what I find has really been useful is if we have a conversation, in really just about 15 to 30 minutes, I'll just ask a few questions, just really get an idea of what's important to you and what you're looking to get out of your health plan. And from there, I'll be able to make a recommendation, and whether that's to stay in the plan that you're automatically have been enrolled in, that Advantage plan, or if there's another plan that I think would work better for you, we can actually get you enrolled in that plan and take care of that today. All right.
Okay.
So if it's okay, I'll just start out by asking a few questions, again, just to get better acquainted with you and find out what's important and where your needs are.
Okay, sure.
So first thing, Bernie, some of our plans are regional, and what that means is where you live dictates what plans you're eligible to enroll in. So where do you live? Where are you from? What county?
I live in Edina, so moved into a townhouse about 3 years ago.
Okay, perfect. And Bernie, you mentioned golf, probably not playing golf in Minnesota this time of year, so I'm assuming you do some traveling?
Yes, I go down to trips planned with my golf pals, Arizona, and then in Florida.
Okay. Okay. And Murney, any chance in the next year or in the near future that you might move and make permanent residency, play golf year-round in either Arizona or Florida?
We're getting closer to that point, but I've got my grandkids are still pretty young, and so I want to be around here as much as I can for them.
Okay, so for now you're here, maybe down the road might be something you'd look at doing.
Yes.
Okay. All right, perfect. Murray, let's talk about doctors. Any clinics that you're utilizing currently?
Yeah, I go to a Fairview clinic just up the road, up on 62 Crosstown.
Okay.
And I go there probably, I don't go there a huge amount of time. If I'm sick, if I'm not feeling well, or if there's been some sort of a reaction to the chemotherapy that I'm undergoing, then I'll go there. I'll go to the Fairview facility.
Okay, okay. And do you, the Fairview facility, is that where they're administering these chemo meds, or do you have that?
No, I go to the Mayo Clinic.
You're doing Mayo Clinic
I was
for that.
diagnosed with prostate cancer about 18 months ago, and all my friends were like, if you got something like that going on, go to Mayo.
Go down to Mayo Clinic.
The plan offered the opportunity to be covered if you went to Mayo, so I went to Mayo, and I go there. Thankfully, things are in remission, so it's good. And it's but 3, sometimes 4 times a year, I'm going to go down and I'm going to get a treatment. And then when I'm done down in Rochester, come back up to the Twin Cities.
Okay.
And if I have any adverse reactions, then I'll go to the clinic at Fairview.
Go to Fairview. Okay. As far as that goes, you're going down to that Mayo Clinic for the administration of that chemo. Is there anything else, any other kind of medical expenses, any durable medical equipment, or any other type of specialist visits that you know are going to be coming up this year?
No, I think I'm hopefully pretty good.
Okay.
I golf, so my shoulders
Yeah.
hurt, my knees hurt, so
Okay.
I'm probably a candidate for some
Okay.
sort of a joint replacement here soon, but so far so good.
Okay, perfect. Now, Murray, with that cost plan that you had, a lot of people like that because you paid X amount of dollars up front and then there were very few out-of-pocket costs. Is that kind of something that you want to continue with, or would you be okay or open to the possibility of having co-pays and paying as you go? Do you have a feeling of where you fit?
Yeah, my daughter would probably be a lot more vocal about how she feels about that.
Okay.
I am not good with my money.
Okay.
My wife, I was married for a number of years, and she passed away a couple years ago. Yeah, thank you. And she took care of all the finances. And
Okay.
so what my daughter does not want is having to deal with a bill coming to me opening it up, making sure she gets it in her hands so that she can make sure that it gets paid.
Okay.
So the fewer letters and things like that she needs to be responsible for, she would definitely prefer that.
The better. Okay, so you're looking for a plan where kind of peace of mind, maybe pay a little bit more up front, but now you don't have those out-of-pocket costs, you don't have those bills. And we do have plans that work just like that.
Okay, and that was kind of the way, I guess that was what I had before.
Yeah, with that cost plan.
Okay.
Exactly. Okay. Murray, what about, I know you mentioned the chemo medication, but is there any other kind of medication that you're taking on a regular basis?
Yeah, I take a high blood pressure meds, and I take Ambien
Okay.
for the sleep apnea.
Okay. Those are fairly common medications, inexpensive. And Murray, anything else that you want to tell me that we haven't talked about yet as far as what you're looking for your health plan?
Well, the only thing, and this is just, again, golfing with the same guys all these
Yeah.
years, most of them are on something they call Senior Gold,
Okay.
and they're telling me that if you're going to get a Blue Cross plan,
Mm-hmm.
you got to have Senior Gold. It's the best plan. They've been on it for however long they've been retired, and
Yeah.
they're just telling me if you're not in Senior Gold, you're not in the best plan.
You know, Senior Gold has been around for almost 50 years, and it is a very comprehensive plan, and it is one that we can look at. However, based on what you've told me, the plan that I want to start with is called the Basic Supplement Plan. That one offers the exact same benefits that Senior Gold does. So it's going to, first of all, travel with you. So when you're in Arizona and Florida, you're going to have coverage. You can go see anyone that takes Medicare. If you ever get to the point where you want to make a permanent move, that plan is going to go with you. So it'll travel with you. It's going to leave you with no out-of-pocket costs. So when you go down to Mayo for those chemo treatments, there's not going to be any cost. If you go to that Fairview office for a follow-up or to see a doctor for any reason, there's no cost. Your daughter's really going to like that. I think you will too, because again, there's no bills on the backside. Now, that basic plan mirrors the benefits that Senior Gold offers, but it's about $40 less expensive per month, and it also has a slightly larger network. So for those two reasons, a little less expensive, larger network. Between the two, the basic and the Senior Gold plan, that basic plan is the one I'm going to recommend that we take a look at.
Okay, so you're telling me I'm going to have bragging rights on the golf course.
You're going to have bragging rights,
Okay.
and you have your friends call me if they want to look at moving to that basic plan, Murray, because I can certainly sit down with them
Okay,
as well.
all right, yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. So again, this basic plan, Murray, it's $219 a month. And with that plan, you're not going to have those out-of-pocket costs. You're going to be able to travel. You're going to be able to go to Mayo. You're going to be able to go to Fairview. So you're going to have a broad network. It is our most comprehensive plan that we offer.
Okay.
And without a doubt, I think that's the one that's going to suit your needs best. Yeah.
Okay. And does that include my drugs?
So it doesn't include the drug coverage. The drug coverage would be separate. So with the Advantage plan you currently have, you've got both medical and drug together. So we want to look at a separate drug plan, and the one I'm going to recommend for you for the drugs is called the Standard Drug Plan, and that one's $37.90 a month. So together with that basic supplement for medical, and then that drug plan, you'd be at about $260 a month, and that's going to give you that very comprehensive coverage without any out-of-pocket costs.
Okay, now, you said before, my drugs were pretty inexpensive, so
Right.
wouldn't it make more sense to not get the drug plan coverage and just, because I only pay, two pretty
Yeah.
inexpensive coverage?
Yeah, that's a really good question. A lot of folks, ask me that. And here's the thing, if you don't take a Part D drug plan, so you go without that coverage, you're gonna save some money, right? But then down the road, if you wanna add a drug plan, say your doctor puts you on some other medications that are a little more expensive, you could add that drug plan, but only at certain times, and now there'd be a penalty that you'd be paying every month because you went without a drug plan. So my recommendation is to take that drug plan, avoid that penalty down the road, and in case in 2019 your doctor does put you on an expensive medication, you're gonna have that coverage there, and you'll be good to go.
Okay, I guess,
If that
again,
makes-
it's kind of, I don't have to worry about these things. If I'm willing to pay for it up front, I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah,
For the
that's
rest of the year.
exactly right, Marie, that's exactly right. So again, members I've worked with in the past who've kind of had similar situations, and they don't want to get those bills. They want a plan that works very similar to what they had in 2018 without out-of-pocket costs. It's without a doubt that basic plan, that's the one you're going to want.
Okay.
You know. So what we can do, Murray, is we can actually move you to that plan today. I've got an application right here, we'll take that out. If you've got your Medicare card with you, that red, white, and blue card, do you have that today?
I do.
Okay, perfect. Well, let's start that application. It'll take us just about 10 minutes and we'll get you all set.
Okay, well, thanks, Nelson.
All right, very good. Thanks for coming in, Murray.
You bet.
All right.
All right. Thank you, Nelson.
All right.
Appreciate that. Now it's
Yeah.
time for my friendly sales coaching and effective feedback. So,
Excellent.
situation was you had that platinum blue letter that had come earlier in the year.
Mhm.
Customer was busy with travel, had accepted the plan, just took it kind of at, this is what they put me into, so that's good. Had some questions, so here in January, they're starting to wondering if that's the right choice. So
Right.
what I really like about what you do in your calls is you show a great deal of empathy, and that just kind of exudes from you as you're giving that call. And I like how I would say something and you were very patient in explaining kind of the whys.
Mhm.
This is the answer, and then kind of the bigger picture, this is why. That makes sense. I like that you asked all the questions up front. It's almost as though we talked about that, and we asked you to do that, but I get a sense that that's what you do.
All the time.
All
All the time.
Yes, I agree.
Absolutely.
And as always, you are an excellent listener. I mean, you were able to tie back in the golfing and the travel to Arizona and Florida,
Yeah.
and all kinds of things along those lines, and the Mayo and how Mayo and Fairview kind of work together as part of the patient's care. So, what do you think you did well? What do you think that you might be looking to do differently next time?
I think, just the same thing as you said, I think it's so important to ask these questions up front. So many times people come in, I'm used to giving a presentation where I just give them everything, and that's not what you need. We don't need to talk about all the plans, just the ones that are right for you. So asking those questions and getting that information, I think that's really the key. And then as far as, things to improve on, I think it's really just making the whole process as smooth as possible. So anything I can do to make it smoother, anything I can do to make it feel like more of a conversation, and then just coming to a smooth close. I think those would be things to...
Okay. And I agree, so I guess my growth opportunity for you would be continue to hammer on yourself that I need to ask all these questions up front, and then relating back to that, any answer you get, make sure that you, as you're talking, you're relating that answer that you got to what you're talking about as you're
Tied into the benefits.
Tying it into the benefits.
Right, okay. All right, perfect. Thank
All right.
you.
Thank you, Nelson.
All right.
Good work.
Thanks, Bernie.